Clark jealousy peak. Angel did more for WNBA Sheryl Swoopes exposes hatred for Caitlin Clark on Live. To me, Angel may have exceeded expectations even more so than Caitlin. Sheryl Swoopes has just came out with another outrageous Caitlin Clark take in a new podcast. Sheryl believes Caitlin hasn't had a dominating season, and she was more surprised by Angel's season due to being drafted lower. Sheryl's jealousy is getting hilarious now after Clark dropped an insane 35 points the other night. Sheryl is crying, looking for more ways to put down K's excellence. To me, Angel may have exceeded expectations even more so than Caitlin, and the reason why I say that is when you're drafted number one, you're drafted number one for a reason. And when you look at her career in college, Caitlin was a great collegiate player. When you look at Angel drafted number 7, the expectations people had on her to me weren't the same as the player that's drafted number 1. It all started when Caitlin Clark dropped an incredible 35 points in a game, surpassing Sheryl Swoopes, his career high of 34 points now to many. This would be an amazing feat, a milestone worth celebrating, but for Swoopes, well, let's just say she didn't take it quite that well. She's not only dominating games, but reshaping the very way people see the sport. Her 35-point game was the latest proof that Clark is more than just a standout player. She's redefining what it means to be a star. At just 22 years old, Clark is racking up numbers like she's playing in a video game, delivering jaw-dropping performances with a level of consistency that defies her age. I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season. Swoopes' refusal to acknowledge Caitlin Clark's historic performance isn't just a snub, it's a reminder of how reluctant some legends are to pass the torch. You'd think after an incredible career like Swoopes', she'd be one of the first to congratulate a young star for pushing the game forward, but nope, Sheryl puts Caitlin down just like the media. In fact, Swoopes has been notoriously cold when it comes to Caitlin's success. Not a word of congratulations, not a nod of approval, nothing for someone who helped build the WNBA into what it is today. Many are asking why the cold shoulder. Sheryl, is it jealousy or perhaps an inability to accept that the game has evolved? It's as if Swoopes can't come to terms with a new generation of stars stepping into the spotlight for a player who's been such a trailblazer for women's basketball. Her reluctance to celebrate Clark feels like a disappointing chapter in her otherwise legendary career, leaving fans puzzled by her silence and lack of support for the sport's next great icon. The elephant in the room was finally addressed by none other than Stephen A. Smith, a man who's never shy about sharing his opinions on his ESPN show. Stephen didn't hold back, calling out Sheryl Swoopes for her silence regarding Caitlin Clark's record-breaking performance. Got to give Caitlin Clark love where it's due, as I have been doing, and I didn't even bother to ask my staff or anybody else because I was traveling yesterday. I didn't even bother to ask this SHSUS call that game. I was just wondering because that's the first thing came to my mind. SH call the game because she was going up against the Dallas Wings. Okay, I didn't know the answer to that question, but I guess no news is good news, so there was no drama. I'm sorry, but this is just flat out wrong. Stephen A. said with his signature intensity. Sheryl Swoopes is a legend, no doubt about it. But when you see a young player like Caitlin Clark break your record, you give respect where it's due, period. She's out here changing the game, and instead of celebrating her, we've got people like Sheryl staying quiet. What does that say about our legends? Stephen A.'s fiery take it home with fans, as it often does. Stephen A.'s critique only magnified the awkward silence surrounding one of the brightest stars in the game. It wasn't just a slight against Clark. It felt like a missed opportunity for Swoopes to show grace and lift up the next generation of stars. Meanwhile,